Well, hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome. Happy Thursday to you. And I'm really looking forward to our time together today because I have a very special guest for you. One of my very longtime friends and colleagues. Wow, how long have we known each other, Yvette?
Over 12 years, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's been a really long
I
time.
think it, yes.
Yeah, it's been a super long time and an amazing journey too. So I'm really excited to introduce to you all my friend and our colleague, Yvette Quantz. So, hey, Yvette, how are you today?
Hello, I'm doing great. So great to be here. Love being here with you virtually.
Yeah, so
Always great to see
awesome.
faces.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Really looking forward to catching up a little bit. It's been a while since we've had an opportunity to get on and do a Facebook Live. So really excited about that. And guys, today we have a really great topic for you. You're going to get a ton of value from listening in and joining in on the conversation. So today we are going to dig in and talk about mindful marketing for modern nutrition entrepreneurs. So let me just share a little bit in terms of, what we're going to cover today in today's live. So we are going to talk about how to go about sharing a message with meaning that connects your clients to you. All right. So really going to dig in. Authenticity is a critical component of this and really how to do that. And one little side note is, clients really do want to connect with you beyond the screen, right? So we're going to dig into that a little bit as well. And we're going to share some strategies on how to save time with ready to use content and resources, which I'm all about, right? Because, anytime we can simplify our process, and at the same time, maintain and develop the relationship with our email list and our followers, like that's a win-win all the way around. So, all right, so let's go ahead and jump in. So, Yvette, I'd love to start our conversation today with a little bit of your backstory. If you
Yeah,
could share just a little bit about, just your journey, how you ended up.
absolutely. So this topic of mindful marketing really is the foundation of what got me started in doing the work I do with I am a registered dietitian. I've been a dietitian since 2003, and my background is in sports nutrition, and I worked in the fitness center industry, working in fitness center environments. And through that experience, it was learning the marketing side of like what worked and what didn't. And so as I evolved, as profession evolved, life evolved, the concept of how can we as a dietitian community connect with our clients better in a more meaningful way. And this is all before even Facebook was around. It was just kind of new then. So the world of marketing has evolved and changed. And obviously, everyone's business has evolved and changed with that. But this concept and the fundamentals of mindful marketing that is what brought me into creating customized nutrition newsletters and my Foodspiration products. Because what I found was once I started working with clients, it was how am I going to continue that relationship, get referrals from them, have them come back, because there's so much more work we could do together. And without that top of the mind awareness, they forget. So that's where I started customized nutrition newsletters. And if you've been on with us before, you've heard probably the story there. So I'm not going to go there. I just wanted to really say so much of it was from how to connect with your people. And at that time, I also developed the Foodspiration line, which every holiday I release a card. And it was really founded on the whole idea of being a mindful marketing touch point, to where you can send a message to your clients with a way that something that they want to keep, that they want to remember, but it also has your branding or contact information on. So fast forward to now we're in 2022 and so much in life and everything has changed, but still, I think we as a profession and as a community need mindful marketing more than ever.
I love that. So yeah, let's dig into that concept and go a little deeper. So what does that actually mean? You know, the phrase mindful marketing. And it's funny. I was just gonna say it's kind of funny. I keep wanting to say mindful eating, right? As a dietitian. So what, yeah, give us a little bit more.
So it's
the
creating
definition.
content with intention. I'd say creating content with intention so that you're adding value. And these are concepts that marketers we talk about, but a lot of times it feels overwhelming if it feels like it's a pushing it on people.
Right.
Whereas step into yourself as a professional and think, how can I add value? What can I share with my audience, my clients, that's going to add value? And that is mindful marketing in and of itself. It's not a pushy sales strategy. It's not, it's emails, it's sending content that educates and inspires, which is actually the foundation of customized nutrition newsletters. It was always connect, educate, and inspire. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. I love that. So a lot of intentionality there, right?
Yes. And
Great.
people get to know you and build that know, like, and trust factor when they see you're putting out valuable content. And so using the frame mindful marketing, I want to encourage everyone who's watching is like, visualize yourself stepping into it because it's empowering. It's not a lot of dietitians, and Leslie, this is you are a whiz on helping people with marketing, and it's a scary place. But when you can step into mindful marketing, you step in empowered and know you're creating and sharing value and with intention.
Right. Oh yeah, I want to dig more into that for sure. But before we do, what would you say the difference is between mindful marketing versus the more traditional marketing that perhaps we are more accustomed to?
So mindful marketing, as we said, is going to educate, it's going to add value, it's going to be authentic, it's going to be entertaining. It's not going to be self-centered. It's going to be service-driven. So we do want to think of that service-driven, adding value.
Right.
It's also not necessarily going to be scripted. It's going to be coming from that authentic place. It's not going to be super salesy. So it's giving touch points. It's giving those gentle nudges of the work you do. There's a place for also like a more sales specific strategy. So I want to emphasize the mindful marketing, I think, could encompass your overall approach to marketing. And when you have a certain product, then you add in a sales strategy that keeps centered with yourself on that. Because so much of what you teach is on sales.
Right.
And so it's not saying we have to still use that, but then the things we do in between.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's really good. Yeah, I think it would be super helpful if we talked about some examples. Can we do that?
Absolutely. So obviously a newsletter, an e-newsletter, or a printed newsletter. I'm going to go over that in a second. But with an e-newsletter, when I started Customized Nutrition Newsletters, vision was always to be an educational and inspirational piece that could be shared. And then email marketing evolved. So an e-newsletter, and you and I've talked about this before as well, e-newsletters and email marketing are going to be two different strategies. Your e-newsletter is a mindful marketing touch point. It's something you're sharing, valuable information, what's going on, something that your readers can take and enhance their life from. And then your email marketing strategy, you might be promoting a product, a event, a download, those types of things. So that's emails. Now, a PDF, like a printed newsletter, that is would be an incredible mindful marketing touch point. it's a lot of, it's not always feasible, but I think if you did it on a quarterly or even an annual basis, I actually have my nutrition entrepreneurs one here, and I love getting this in the mail and being able to, hold it in my hand and like
Flip
visually
through
hold
it.
it. And so thinking about how could you incorporate that, it doesn't have to be a full-on like book like this one,
Right.
but if it could be some type of mailing touch point. And with that being said, I started with these holiday cards as a mail touch point that people can use. And I got emails from people like, I still have it on my fridge. They have your saying and your contact information.
Right. I love
And every holiday I come up with a new theme and a new word of the year, and they're released for people. But beyond that, we can also do them and this is something I've been doing in my practice for years, is like these little touch points, having little cards that can be given out throughout the year. So here's an example, another example. And this is a counseling practice that is actually in my building, and he does a word of the year. He has counselors, a whole team of them, and a word of the month. I'm sorry, I said year word, but I meant word of the month. And every month they do a new word with this, and they give it to their clients, and on the back, and they write them a little note. So those types of things that are just those little touch points, they go a long way.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. And one of the things I love about that is because quite often in my conversations with clients and my students, we talk about, I mean, it's very entrenched in how do we develop the relationship and stay top of mind, right? And I love this concept because a lot of times people will say, well, Lesli, that sounds great, but what do I do? How do I do that? Right? Like, it's not
And
like
that's
it's
Foodspirations
challenging.
was really founded on the idea of the belief that it's a message with a meaning. So you have something that savors, something that someone's going to keep and look at on a regular basis. If it was your headshot with just like your nutrition practice, they're not going to keep it and look at it on a regular basis. No. That's not a bad marketing touch point to filter in. But when you do stuff like this, they're going to keep it and they're going to read it and they're going to think of you in a different way.
Yeah.
And so thinking about.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it feels like it comes across as less self-serving, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
And I think as a practitioner, it feels more aligned with, especially if you're doing things like mindful eating.
Yeah.
But whenever you're working with people to help them have a healthier mind and body, you are going to want to be sharing words. Foodspiration, my husband recently, I mean, I started Foodspirations in 2010. Yeah. He's like, I just don't get it. I think it should be food. I said, but it's about feeding your mind, feeding your body so you can feed others. And that's how, when you share words that your clients, that your community can then feed their mind with and think of you, then when they get stuck, when they hit a pain point, they're going to call you. Right. And they're going to want to come back.
Right.
And it makes them feel good. It's things that make you feel, that uplift you when you look at it, not, oh, it's another sales.
Exactly. Right. It comes across a lot differently than, something that's like just got your head shot and, like a call to action, buy my stuff, right? It's just completely different.
And again, those things are still necessary and they work. So I'm not saying that we don't do that, but we also, using this a mindful approach and adding those extra touch points will have your customers connected on a deeper level. Right. And they'll be making those purchases in a more the present, mindful, I mean, abundance, happy place is the way I like to think of it, because you've given value.
Yeah. And I appreciate the comment from your husband as well, right? Kind of thinking through that, the words that you're choosing to me strike me as very like integrative and holistic, right? Because there's so much more to what we do collectively as health practitioners than just talk about food, right? It's that, the
And
mind
there is,
connection, the mind gut, right? Like all of those different aspects of health.
and there's intention with that, because as a practitioner, as a science-based practitioner who's out there doing the work, helping people there, letting your people know that it is deeper. I mean, what motivates you to do that? It's, if your clients are not coming in a healthy state of mind, they're not able to take in. So there is intentionality with that. It's foods that actually nourish the spirit, the soul.
Exactly. I
So,
love that. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the authenticity piece, shall we? Especially
yes.
today, as you guys can
Yes.
probably see. I am showing up today with a slightly blue tinge screen. Isn't that interesting? And it's a little tech snafu, something, a setting on my camera surprisingly must have shifted. And but guess what? You know what? I was and Yvette reminded me, I was kind of like, oh man, look at my camera, I'm blue. And
You can
Yvette's
see
like,
the
you know what?
stress, and you're like, we've got way more things to worry
Got
about.
other things to worry about, right? And the reason I bring that up is really just to drive home the point of authenticity, because honestly, well, first of all, people are very forgiving. And secondly, they do want, they, not to like overuse that word authenticity, but that is really what people want. They want the real you. So, and I do think that is a really significant piece of this whole concept of mindful marketing, right? Is, really trying to be authentic, be the real you, right? Show up. And I would say the other thing is that it, in this type of marketing, it's really not so much about you, right? We're really much more focused on providing value to the audience, right? Regardless of whether or not you show up with a little blue, a blue screen, right? So
100%. When I'm going to say this quote, one of my dear friends, old high school friends, shared with me when I was having a stress moment on a work issue. And she said, her name's Nikki Driscoll. She said, people are more forgiving than we give them credit for. Isn't that powerful?
it is. And it's really true.
It is very true. And so remember that as you are exploring your marketing approach and building your practice and experimenting with new things and falling and getting back up, and
Getting
people
back
are more
into
forgiving than we give it.
and
Yes.
absolutely. I love that. That's such a great quote. So let's talk a little bit then about who should adopt mindful marketing into their businesses, and just a little bit about how we would go about doing that. Who and how? How's that?
So I think any health wellness practitioners, nutrition health wellness practitioner who does embrace the mind body approach, which I think is a lot of people. So I think if you believe that the health of the people you serve is more than just one factor, then you should probably embrace the mindful marketing. Also, if the idea of marketing freezes you, then just add in that word mindful marketing, and I have a feeling it will help you step into your personal power of like, I can do this, because you can.
Yeah.
And people need you to share those gifts. I've shared a few things you can do on your own, and then I created resources because I do love creating. It is my what I love to do is I love to create and inspire and get creative. So customized nutrition newsletters, and then Foodspirations. Foodspirations is a different site. You can actually see the products on customized nutrition newsletters as well. But on Foodspirations, I've been updating and adding all these designs. And so you can go there and shop for additional mindful marketing touch points, and then customized nutrition newsletters have the pre-done content. that literally you can send a newsletter once a month, once a week, as a reminder touch point to your readers, that to your community, that you're there, that you're their nutrition go-to expert. And I have 2 codes we'll share. So
Yeah, let's do
20%
that.
off for Foodspirations, and the 20% off for Foodspirations is mindful marketing. Use that at the checkout and you get that through the end of August.
Okay,
And then Lesli Inspires get you $100 off your newsletter setup fee. So if you decide you would
nice.
like to learn more about customized nutrition newsletters, gain access to hundreds of pre-written articles that are ready to be branded for your business, learn more at customizednutritionnewsletters.com.
Fantastic.
And Foodspirations is Foodspirations.
Okay.
So SPIRATIONS.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, definitely. I would highly recommend you check out these resources. And just as a little sidebar, some of you may know this, but I used Yvette services for many, many years when I had my nutrition practice. And it really just made it a no-brainer, right? It was so much easier and smoother, and her content is fantastic. And I know she's added a ton of different types of content that'll really fit your area of expertise and your niche.
We're starting a functional, not functional. Well, I did a functional nutrition, but we're doing food as medicine. I'm going to be doing a food as medicine series.
Ooh.
So I did a food as medicine intro, and then we'll be adding a few on that coming up. And on the topic of you using the service, there's a lot of people who do use it and they get comfortable doing it and they get fine-tune their message and then they go out and do it on their own, which is fantastic. And then some people have used it for 10, 12 years now. It's getting out there and staying in front of your people is the part that's important. And I've created resources to make it easy.
Awesome. Any final words of wisdom that you'd like to share, Yvette?
I'm going to tell us all to keep showing up, no matter where we are in our journey of our nutrition entrepreneur journey, our personal journey. Just keep showing up. And if you believe in the work you're doing, if you believe what you've been called to do, keep being around. People need you. People need to hear your message. And there's a ton of abundance of resources, of pre-done things that are ready to use. That all you need is keep showing up.
I love that. All right. Sounds great. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was so good to spend some time with you today, Yvette. And for sure, we're going to do this more often. Guys,
Yes.
Yvette and I agreed we're going to try to do this on a much more frequent basis because I love her style, her marketing style. And I just feel like it really resonates. So let's go ahead and get that in the books, Yvette. And I hope the rest of you have an awesome rest of your day, a great weekend, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you.